so that people understand. Okay, so what we're going to have you guys do is you're going to write that introduction. It's going to be essentially 2 sentences, maybe 3 sentences of, hey, we looked at body composition because it's important, because Lord knows you need ways to discern if people are, you know, underweight but over fat, or overweight but they're actually lean enough that it doesn't matter, or they're healthier for it. And then purpose, to examine the effects of drinking 20 fluid ounces of water on body composition. So then methods, you're going to start off with the number, so N, and then subjects you had go through. And this is where you'd have like demographics, where you'd have age, gender, height, weight, etc. And then you're going to do mean plus or minus the standard deviation for those values. Okay, so you can see the example I put online, make sure you follow that. Followed by, here is the methods we did for testing. So it'll be like, this is body comp method, drank 20 ounces water, and then we repeated the measure. And then we look at the difference with stats. And specifically, this is going to be a t-test. It's really all you're looking for. You're just comparing A to B, how's it shift? That's it. So results is going to be those body comp differences, where it's again going to be means plus or minus the standard deviation. And then is it significant, where P is effectively, we want it to be less than or equal to 0.05. And so if it is, we're going to probably give it like a star so we know it was significant. And then finally, you've got your discussion, which is, this happened. And cool, meaning like, you know, this is a good thing, this is a bad thing, this is just something that can inform further information. You can even do the following segment with some practical applications. This should be the easiest lab write-up you got to do, because all you're doing is just this very simple breakdown of effectively what you guys came up with. So, Diana and Yehor, does this make sense? Is there anything else you guys would like me to go ahead and outline for you?
So for mean, standard deviation, and the stats part of this, can we use Excel or SPSS or either one?
The easiest way to do this is probably going to be just Microsoft Excel.
Okay.
To use the average and then standard deviation functions.
Okay.
Whenever you run the t-test, just use the equals t-test.
Oh, it's in underneath functions in Excel. It's there, right? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And it's the easiest way to do it. The labs we do later on, those are the ones where we're probably going to be interested in doing things like the correlation matrices, and specifically when you get to things like an ANOVA or regressions, that's where you're going to want to use SPSS, because you can't do those easily, at least in Excel. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is when we're looking at these values, there's a lot of different ways you can look at the values. You can look at absolute, or you can look at change values. So when we say absolute, like I'm 15% body fat, Yehor, you're 12% body fat, and Diana, I'm just going to say you're 20% body fat. All of these numbers are going to be probably inaccurate, except for I do feel confident that Yehor is in fact leaner than I am. Okay? Now, the big thing here is if all of us gain 1%, or gain 1% body fat, because we've got such wide variety, that what we might want to look at is our pre to post scores. So instead of looking at the absolute number, so I go from 15 to 16, Yehor goes from 12 to 13, Diana goes from 20 to 21. Well, instead, our initial score becomes 0. So all of us are 0. And then we look at the change. So you go from 0 to 1. Does that make sense? So all of us literally went up 1 full percentage point, which that's pretty significant. It's another way you can look at the data, in that we're looking at it, once again, relative change to the individual. So you take the individual's initial score minus their initial score for their first visit, which gives you 0. And then their second score is their actual score they had that time minus their initial score. So it might be a positive or it might be a negative number. Now the other is we can look at then like a percentage gain. And so you're looking at effectively initial score divided by initial score. So your first score always becomes 1. And then your next visit becomes that visit score divided by your initial score. So it'll be a percentage change. So we're looking at absolute change relative to the individual change, and then obviously kind of a percentage-based change. All of those are fine. You just need to write in like, here's the way that I looked at this statistically.
Okay.
All right. So you guys okay with getting out of here super early? Or you guys want to keep going? Because I can always talk.
I'm okay.
And I appreciate your honesty, Diana. So yeah, you guys have a great night. Thanks for listening in. Stay safe out there. And this will all be up in YouTube later on, so you guys can re-listen to it. And then everybody else can hopefully listen to the lectures and make sure they're passing the class, because I want people to pass. So stay safe. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.